As a reminder, Robert Ling is the Senior Technical Manager at Nuvoton Technology Incorporation. He's got more than 20 years of experience in microcontroller, microprocessor, product, and marketing planning within the semiconductor industry. He's responsible for the market operation and business development of IoT security microcontroller products. So with that in mind, Robert, how's everything going? You ready for us?
Yeah, thank you, Jacob. Your introduction. I know you. Yes, we both know each other before. I hope you remember me. But unfortunately, I would like to apologize because of some computer problem, because our company has some information security policy. So I cannot turn on the camera today. But this is live presentation, so I can accept the question online and for a couple minutes after my presentation. So don't please forgive me. I cannot turn on my camera, and it got some problem. Even we tested this afternoon. But I think. It's okay. I will do my best to deliver my presentation. Even I cannot show my face. So shall we start? Okay. So let's start. And so today I'm very. It's my honor to be invited by IoT Threats to give this talk. My topic is NuMicro M235x Series supports IoT Threat ecosystem to enhance IoT security. But actually, except the M235x series, I will also introduce most of IoT development platforms of Nuvoton. So you will be get more understanding of Nuvoton product. Especially in MCU microcontroller and the microprocessor for IoT devices or IoT application development. So my name is Robert, and let's start. Today I would like to make an introduction to with this agenda, and let's start from security threats to IoT environment, and later will be M235x IoT Security Series, and then my NuMicro family IoT platform solution, and we also have a new product plan in terms of modules. So I will introduce the NuMicro family secure wireless module. This product planning and ideas, and finally the conclusion. Okay. Okay. So let's start from the threats to IoT devices. And here give a example in IoT of a IoT device in IoT environment. For example, there is a hydrometer connected to a gateway, then to network to the cloud service. And what's the threat to this scenario? First one is about the threats on communication interfaces, no matter it's wire or wireless communication channels. And here we foresee there is eavesdropping, spoofing, and tampering with data. And the other one is about the threats on end device, and no matter it's a remote or local access. For example, in this scenario, the hydrometer will have potentially to be injecting malicious codes, tampering with data, or the entire devices to be cloning. And today, when we talk about the cybersecurity requirements, based on the previous slide, so firstly, we need to secure the communication. And there are a lot of communication standards related to security. And here, just a simple note. For example, the MQTT, it's ISO IEC PRF 2922, and the co-op IFC 7252, TLX IFC 5446. With these communication standards, MQTT co-op or plus TLX, the hardware, especially for MCU or MPU, better to have a hardware crypto accelerators and to implement, to execute private keys, this PKI system. And sometimes we need to encrypt the data. So, for example, if we use AEX or SM4 in China, for these data encryption standards, we might use session keys. And for IoT device security requirements, it's basically for the IoT device itself. The security requirements will be to secure the code and the data. Code means firmware. And how to do the security, or how to secure the code and data, we can have some functionalities inside of a chip. For example, we can use identity. For example, with our Nuvoton MCU, every chip, we have a unique ID, and we can use keys to encrypt the data in transmission. So in here, we can see for the IoT device security itself, we need to we need to have some strategy or mechanisms to protect the data code and data. So the MCU security features might include secure boot and the firmware update, secure storage inside, and the trust zone. This is one of isolation technology with MCU or MPU, and enter temper, no matter it's PCB level or chip level itself. Later, I will do some more explanation for these features I listed. Before enter the detailed explanation for the security concerns, let's simply should try to explain the MCU security of categories of attacks with a different layer. First one is the basic label in chip label. In chip label, it might have decap probing, focus ion beam, for example, to attack the chip with the physical access. And for the board label, here are some attacks listed, like side channel attacks for crypto processor, and for fault injection attacks for entire system, and software attacks through debug port or peripherals, means peripheral pins, and appliance enclosure intrusion. It's a more mechanical aspect. And here I explain the one famous IoT security standard. It's ARM PSA Label 3. This label will cover the side channel attacks and fault injection attacks countermeasures to make sure the devices or the chip used will meet the requirement. In the network layer, we can know there are man in the middle, or the line of service and the distributed denial of service, eavesdropping malware from network. To be frankly, in network layer, these attacks has many countermeasures with existing IT technologies. For MCU, MPU, especially for embedded system, IoT devices, I think the chip level and the board level will be more focused for engineers. Here is main security features of NuMicro M235x series. Based on this series, we have developed new SMP. It's abbreviation NuMicro Secure Microcontroller Platform, including some security features with MCU or MPU, like secure boot, secure connectivity, and secure storage. Here is a simple summary for the product evolution. When we have M26123, this line is already in production. We introduce a secure boot in covering a key generation, secure boot as a root of trust, anti-clone, secure debug. And then we introduce VAM trust zone technology with M22351. So we aided secure connectivities within this M235x series. We start to port embed RTOS as well as RT-Thread and FOTA update, product lifecycle management. When we enter M235 series early this year, we introduced the secure storage for this product series, including key certificate provision, active shield for key store, and the side channel and the side channel and the like a SCA DPA mitigation for our crypto processors, like AEX, ISA, ECC, and for injection mitigations, clock voltage. So here is the overall pictures for our entire IoT security series M235x. And now let's go into the IoT security series in detail. Here is a series roadmap. So you can see we have M235x, M266X, and M261SF. This is a special part with technology collaboration with Winbound. With secure flash stacked with existing M235x die, but basically the features, security features are same with M235x. And for M235 we are targeting PSA certified level 3, and now we are proceeding the certification, and the key features will be on VAM trust zone CPU, 1 MB embedded flash, and 256 kilobyte SRAM, and we also have other very complete security features. Let me give a little bit introduction to trusted firmware M. This is a good firmware architecture to cover secure boot isolation, for example, trust zone and secure partition. Here we can see in a trust zone enabled MCU or MPU system, you can have hardware isolation into two zones. Maybe we can talk secure zone and the non-secure zone. So in the secure zone, you can have different partitions to have storage, crypto, attestation, audit log, provision, perform third-party software or third-party firmware. Then you can, based on this partition, to implement your security policy. And in non-secure side here, you can put real-time operating system and network middleware and up-layer APP. For the operating system like RT Threat will be a good choice. And the isolation boundary means the trust zone isolation approach. And in the secure zone, we can use the trusted firmware M architecture to implement root of trust, and in non-secure side can ensure the application root of trust. So here is a simple explanation, and this slide is relevant to this slide. Why Nuvoton select the trusted firmware M to offer the trusted firmware M example for our customers based on our MCU, because this is a good hardware software mixed architecture to ensure platform security. That's why we choose to pass PSA security certification with our IoT Security Series. This is a good reference standard for building a secure system and a reference implementation. With this architecture, hardware and software, trusted firmware M architecture, people can use this architecture to develop IoT devices or embedded systems with a good mechanism, systematically to do analyze, to do architect, to implement a application system. And with these systematic steps, you can implement a device with a device identity, trusted boot sequence, and also get secure over-the-air update service. Then later, this device is eligible for to be a certificate-based authentication. So here is a simple software and hardware architecture and specifications based on the PSA. And now, after the couple slides introduction to the security threat and PSA security architecture, let me explain how our M235x series to meet these the PSA security standards, and how we implement the countermeasure to the IoT threat. In the first generation, our first generation IoT security MCU M235x, we had implemented the trust zone CPU software-based root of trust with crypto hardware crypto processors and PCB tampering countermeasures. So here is M235x simple explanation. You can see there is trust zone isolation, and we use some embedded flash, OTP memory, and versatile memory configuration. For example, secure flash to be complementary to the trust zone isolation. Then when we enter to M23554, and we try to enhance our trust zone technology with a hardware root of trust. This hardware root of trust is based on our key store, secure key store, and crypto with power side channel attack mitigation, and also platform security and the certification, more certification oriented functionalities. So here is a full pictures of our M235 for its security features. So you can see trust zone, NVM trust zone hardware, and a very secure key store here. We surrounded by reduced EM emission with chip level tampering for key store, with secure key provisioning service. Even we can do because we are a IDM company, and we also implement some data scrambling for the data communication inside of chip on the bus. So here is a very complete architecture based on trust zone CPU, crypto, power side channel mitigation, platform security technology, and can make sure the devices to be certification for IoT ecosystem main IoT security standards. Okay, so why this root of trust is important for a chip? Because we all know if we need to have a chain of trust from chip to the cloud service, and we need to have a root of trust based on hardware or software. So here is a simple chain of trust explanation from chip level appliance to network level to cloud service level. And I believe hardware root of trust is the most fundamental for this chain of trust. So we try to provide our IoT security product as a service to the ecosystem to provide silicon security with our hardware and firmware, software reference package. And as I said, we offer our chip level device ID and secure boot as a basic offerings for all our Nuvoton MCU products. And I think I don't need to explain more for communication and cloud side today. So let's see all the NuMicro family IoT platform solution now. Here is a Nuvoton one-stop IoT solutions in overall. So you can see we cover all the device, all the steps, all the devices possibility to use our MCU or MPU products in the device platform for node device or edge devices. We have a lot of devices and real-time operating system combination, and for example RT3. And for driver ready, we also implement many network communication standards, and the drivers integrated with our both software package BSP. And for gateway platforms, we have MPU products. For example, M9 products, and it's a good platform to be a gateway like router or gateway design platform. And we use this platform with different operating system and to be a gateway reference design And for cloud and for companion apps, we also engage with the ecosystem and the developer the apps for demonstration, both Android and iOS platforms. And here is a Nuvoton IoT solution platform technology in detail. We integrate the MCU or operating system network protocols, and we focus on application development in terms of hardware, software. So you can see from the Nuvoton MCU or MPU, and we collaborate with a lot of ecosystem players, RF vendor, OS vendors, and to integrate the operating system and the libraries, and to provide and to test it on the network stacks and the network protocols will be executed on our platform. And finally, we also engage with cloud client, cloud vendors to confirm on the cloud client app can really work with our MCU or MPU products. And based on these full mature platform and offerings, users, developers can only focus on their application development here. So it will certainly save a lot of times for IoT devices, no matter client, it's a node device or gateway, even edge devices development, to focus on the application. And here is a summary for our entire platforms. In terms of NuMicro board and operating system and IP connectivity, non-IP connectivity, and clouds. I don't explain the details in this slide because a lot of information. I want to highlight it. We will fully support RT Threat from this year because we see the RT Threat advantage in the past few years promotions. So since this material will uploaded for download, so you can check later when you download the material. And again, RT Threat is almost we implemented for our most IoT platforms. So here is a node device development kit for M235x series. This is focused on node device development, and I listed all IoT security series in Nuvoton based on M2354, M235x or 4, and M263A, and the LoRa devices M252. You can see the M2354 has two boards. One is IoT board, and later we'll have a detail. And the other one is a maker board. It's more basically function testing for function evaluation purpose. And we also have an IoT board based on M263 with a lot of communication and the sensors integrated on the board. And M252 is only focusing on LoRa. Yeah. So let's go for NuMicro family secure wireless modules. And before I go into detailed explanation, I would like to explain why we have this idea, secure wireless connectivity modules. And this secure wireless connectivity module doesn't mean a final product. It's a trust zone based connectivity modules for wireless communication functionality integrated. When we promote the trust zone and the security to the ecosystem, to the market, and we found users is not enough. It's not easy for users to solve the connectivity and the security together. But people do need the security and communication connectivity together. So we try to use the trust zone features to offer different kind of connectivity modules as a reference design, and also can be a mass production reference, even go for mass production straightforwardly. And today we have a Wi-Fi with a Bluetooth option a module based on M254, M235 and the M261, and this connecting module can support IPv4, IP6, and secure provision service by Nuvoton, cloud registration and device management support of like MIM smart metering. So this is a good example for IoT devices development for a reference, and and also we have Zigbee and the Thread reference connective module based on M235x, and we collaborate with a company in England, Cascoda. Here I only listed AGA, AWS, Google, Azure, but we can also support RT-Thread ecosystem. So this is just an example. Here is a special explanation for NuMicro IoT M2354 board. Here is a introduction YouTube video. You can watch this video for English version to understand more. And this board we can support RT-Thread operating system, and also it has a dual band, 2 bands for LoRa communications. So means 890 and 433 to 2 megahertz. These 2 bands, and the M235 series simple point. The simple summary. The main feature simple summary. 96 megahertz operation frequency, and the flash SRAM, ADC, SPI, UR, I2C, USB. Here is a bit introduction to LoRa node device based on M252 LoRa WAN. Here you can select it also with our M252 based LoRa WAN node device reference board, and we also use our NUC 980 as to develop a real LoRa WAN gateway. So if you are interested or you are developing LoRa WAN related solution, we have a very good reference design based on for node sensor like M235 or M252. And if you are developing LoRa gateway, you can refer to our NuC 980 platform. Here is a short introduction to our M252. I think I don't need to go into detail. And finally, let's have a conclusion. It's a multi-operating system and multi-cloud support for IoT node devices. Here is a summary for our M235x IoT series. So you can see a summary for IP connectivity ready technology with RTOS, with cloud. We already validated it's a good connection to the cloud. And last one is a summary to our IoT Security MCU series. First one is about it's elastic for IoT and the embedded security with MCU and where it's come. We put a lot of cryptographic hardware accelerators for IoT applications, and we implement all the series parts with root of trust to ensure the end-to-end security system security. Except the security, we can offer ultra low power performance. Finally, we are keeping to enhance our IoT security series for IoT application oriented. We are also in research for machine learning IP theft mitigation onwards. Okay, thank you.